on her podcast the other day, comedian Sarah Silverman weighed in on so-called cancel culture. And she claims there can be unintended consequences. Take a look.
In this cancel culture, and we all know what I'm talking about, whether you think there is one or there isn't one, or where you stand on it, and there's a lot of gray matter there. But without a path to redemption, when you take someone, you found a tweet they wrote 7 years ago or a thing that they said, and you expose it and you say, this person should be no more, banish them forever. They're gonna find some place where they are accepted. And it's not gonna be with progressives, which ironically means to be changed, progress.
So this is an issue y'all feel strongly about, I'm told. Bari, this is one that you particularly feel strongly about. Tell me about it.
I do, because this is a country, and the values that I believe in giving people second chances. I believe that no one should be hung or have their reputation destroyed or lose their job because of a mistake or liking a bad tweet. And I think oftentimes when we talk about cancel culture, people think about celebrities that have gotten in trouble, people that are famous, people that frankly, have the financial net if they lose a job. But I think about someone like Emmanuel Cafferty. Emmanuel Cafferty worked for the San Diego utility company. He was driving his truck by a protest a few months ago and his hand was hanging out the window. Someone snapped a picture of his hand and they said that he was making a white supremacist hand gesture. He is Hispanic. His family is from Mexico. But it didn't matter. The people that carried out the investigation at the San Diego utility company decided that what he was doing was a racist gesture and he was fired from his job. Now, this is a working class guy. He was playing with his fingers. He had no idea what he was doing. These are the kinds of stories that we talk about when we're talking about cancel culture. And I think that I find it ironic that progressives, as Sarah Silverman wisely put it in that clip, the kind of people who talk about giving criminals, giving murderers a second chance, the people that care about things like prison reform, which I also feel passionately about, that they also feel that someone should have their social reputation destroyed because of a mistake like that. And I just think that that is wrong and it is deeply un-American.
And you have an issue with cancel culture as well, Sonny, yes?
I do. I have an issue with the term, actually, cancel culture, because I think for far too long, we've let people get away with really bad behavior and now deemed it that they're being canceled because of their behavior rather than being held accountable for their behavior. I think it's high time that many people that behave badly, behave poorly, behave in racist manners, be held accountable for it because there should be consequences to behavior. So rather than call it cancel culture, why not call it consequence culture? Why not call it other things like that? And when you look at it through that lens, then I think that's different.
Right.
We used to say things were, too PC. Well, I don't know, if you are the subject of the behavior, then perhaps you look at it a little differently, right?
There's a difference, though.
Yeah. Sarah, go ahead, Sarah.
Even if it was called consequence culture, which I tend to use the term cancel, the consequence should fit the crime. And I don't think in this day and age there's any spectrum for that bucket of wrong. We put everyone in the same bucket, and there's like a pariah scarlet letter on them. And it often, I actually agree with a lot of what Bari said, it ends up wiping out full families, association. People look back and dig. And if you have a picture with a person that's been, suffered a consequence, as Sonny would say it, you're guilt by association. You can no longer be near them. I think there's this unforgiving culture right now that's become acceptable. It's a mob mentality. And I think, sadly, if it were to affect you or someone you love, we would expect more grace and nuance, but we don't extend that to other people.
Well, I happen to know a little something about cancel culture, as does Bari. I was canceled. I was canceled. If it wasn't for Barbara Walters saying, hey, would you come and do the show? I would still probably be out of work because I wasn't getting any work for 5 years. We went through all my savings, went through everything. But she gave me an opportunity, and that's what happens. Someone has to make a space for you and say, I'm going to take the chance. I really believe that it's important to find out the facts of things before we just erase stuff, because oftentimes people are being erased not because you thought they actually did something bad, but because people have decided that this is the thing we're going after now. So I'm real particular about going after people and canceling them, because sometimes they're not guilty. I'm just saying.